3, 2, 1. This is Deducter bringing you set 6 of KT versus Woongjin. KT hoping to close this series out 4-2 rather, and they brought out Action to do this. Woongjin sending out Free to try to stop this and force an ace match. Action is the Teal Zerg at the 1 o'clock, and Free is the, or Free, aka Pretty, is the blue Protoss here at the 7 o'clock. So there we see Free, perennial presence, I have to say, for Woongjin in terms of one of their better players. That is for sure, although these days, again, Free, not quite playing the best. He's still okay, but he's not quite the force in Pro League that used to be. It used to be for Stars. Free was pretty much the only decent player for a long, long time, until they started getting all sorts of good players these days. But anyway, things not looking too good, I have to say, for Stars. Action is a capable Zerg player. I think he certainly has the chops to take on Free here. And let's see whether either player does anything interesting. Generally, players do tend to seem to play things safe in more important matchups, so I think Free might be inclined to play quite cautiously here. This is a new Bloody Ridge. It looks like Protoss, from what games I've seen, have generally not had too good of a time on this map. So things are going to be stacked a bit against Free, I have to say. Spawning pool going down here for Action. He has gone for the overpool as is standard. It looks like Free bringing out his probe scout is going to be forced to put the forge down fast. I don't think there's anything he can do about that. On this map, he has to put down forge and cannons. This is a 2-player map, so the Zerglings know exactly where to go. And now Free gonna see what is standard these days, hopefully. No, he has not brought the probe up to scout that. He just wants to delay this natural hatchery from going down. It looks like gonna irritate Action somewhat, and Action gonna do his best to ward this probe away. Not gonna work out just yet. He's probably not too desperate to put this expansion down, otherwise he would send the drone somewhere else. Probe has put down a pylon there to try to delay that expansion for as long as possible. Probably will cancel it as soon as it is almost finished. Now it looks like the second hatchery is going to go down at 3 o'clock position. Action probably want to build base there anyway, so nothing surprising. The pylon already canceled. A few Zerglings out to chase away the probe, and a Zealot out. Again, Zerg players, I think, will have no problem to respond to any sort of early Zealot pressure coming from a Protoss player. I'm still not sure whether this is truly wise for Protoss. I mean, I don't mind building Zealots early on. What I truly mind is the Protoss sending the Zealots on a suicide mission, more or less. Building Zealots early on makes sense. It forces the Zerg to build Zerglings, maybe even put down some defenses before they want to. But sending out, for instance, 4 Zealots to attack one of the bases almost never works out, because the Zerg being sure they can, the Zerg player can morph Zerglings to deal with it, and then kill all the Zealots while losing relatively few units usually. Typically no drones go down, and maybe only a handful of Zerglings. I mean, 4 Zealots can buy you 16 Zerglings. And perhaps half that number might die, because generally the Protoss player is quite fond of attacking drones and whatnot. So looks like these Zealots going to drive the Zerglings back here. So I just disagree with sending out the first few Zealots to die. I have no problem with sending out to try to put on a bit of pressure as long as they don't die. It looks like perhaps a Hydra bust here coming out from Action. He wants to end this game now. He's put down a Hydralisk den before his lair, so Free would be wise to sniff this out here. He's brought a probe by if Action can stop this, and it looks like he has 2 Zerglings there critically to block this probe from scouting. If Action can pull this off, Free is going to lose. If Free can spot this and somehow just sniff this out, even though he's not going to be able to scout it, he's going to be fine. Now Free moving out his 4 Zealots, it looks like this probe doing its best to try to survive. I think Free needs to get something done with these 4 Zealots. He sent them out, and if Action can stop them, he is going to win. If he cannot stop these Zealots from, for instance, breaking through and seeing his base, seeing the Hydralisk Den, Free is going to have quite a bit of advantage, I would say, and now Action, as you can see, working all sorts of Zerglings to deal with these Zealots. Zealots have been forced back for now. And a lot of Zerglings being built. They also have speed now. They are going to run circles around these Zealots. So, not too much going to be accomplished here, I have to say. Free only putting down his first cannon now. He's also put down a Stargate. He needs to spot this with his Corsairs. Otherwise, he is going to be in desperate trouble. First Hydralisk out here. A lot of Zerglings already on the field. Hydralisk speed has been finished, perhaps. A lot of Hydralisks are going to start to get built here. Free does not suspect this just yet. No, Hydralisk speed has not been finished. Actually, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Second cannon going down. Free needs more than 2 cannons, unfortunately, if he wants to hold this. And I think Action will be content to push the attack as soon as he's massed up maybe half a dozen Hydralisks. And now Free putting down 3 cannons. I still don't think it's going to be enough. He's put down instead of Action is, I think, going to be fine here. These Zealots are doing their best to fight against these Zerglings out on the field here. More Hydralisks coming out here, and now Action, I think, is going to be ready to launch the attack, but no, he's pulled all his units back for some reason. This Corsair is going to come out here and is going to spot these Hydralisks now. I think Free knows exactly what's coming his way. He needs to put down more gateways and more cannons and hold out for as long as possible. He's put down some more cannons there. This Corsair will come in and probably try to kill what overlords it can to force a supply block. This is exactly what he needs to do. Action would be wise to attack sooner rather than later. Maybe he's waiting for range to finish on his Hydralisk before attacking. I would imagine that's what it is. Free going to have 5 cannons at the front to defend. I think he'll be fine. He has put down 2 more gateways. Action needs to attack sooner rather than later, I feel. I do not know why Action is not moving out. He's morphing his lair now, so Action can tend to just sit outside the base here. He surely is waiting for range, that's probably what it is. But Free is going to survive for now. And I don't know, when a Zerg player goes for this sort of early aggression build and they don't do anything with it, generally the advantage will shift towards the Protoss player's court here. Looks like these 4 drones going to be sent to mine. Action has decided that he wants to drone up a bit in the meantime here, so he is not going to push the front, and this is going to be a somewhat longer game. Free surely has his Templar archives up. He's got a Dark Templar at the front here. There is an Overlord there, just 1. And if Free can kill the Overlord, his Dark Templar will be free to do whatever it wants. These Zealots doing their best to fight against the Zerg units, but not able to accomplish much without speed. The Dark Templar is snuck through. I just don't think it's going to matter too much. There are enough Overlords to scout. And now all sorts of gateways going down for Free. This is what I mean. The Protoss is soon going to be able to mobilize a formidable army. And Action, I'm not sure he'll be able to cope. He's pulled all his forces back, it looks like, for now. Because of the threat of 1 Dark Templar. Not the best maneuver by Action. He probably would be better off sending his forces outside the natural as a blockade. He's not in any danger just yet that any sort of army coming out by Free to destroy his forces, but I don't know. Action just now putting down his Spire. He is going to be quite a bit behind in tech. I mean, there are already Dark Templar out, and surely there are High Templar already built for Free, whereas Action not yet finished with his own Spire. He has managed to drone up quite well in the meantime, and he hasn't lost too many Overlords. However, I don't like Action's chances. He has given the initiative away to Free, and that is always dangerous, to give the initiative away to the opposing player. Free now with 4 High Templar out and getting his robotics support, robotics facility. And see, those Zerglings able to kill 2 Zealots, losing only 1 their numbers. Such is the power of Speedlings, but the Zealots are going to have speed finished. And I don't know whether they have +1 attack finish. Surely they will have it soon. Those Zerglings would be wise to withdraw at this point. But they're still trying to do what they can against the Zealots. I think that is a mistake. This Corsair coming in more as a scout than anything else. And there's a Dark Templar trying to sneak through, but again, Dark Templar unsuccessful. And Free is going to be, I think, fine for now. He is just going to start massing up his army, and then he can push out. I think Action needs to be able to do something on the field here to win. If he can defeat the Protoss army in decisive battle, he'll also be in a decent position. Rarely, though, is the Zerg player going to be able to cope with a Protoss player unless they went for a much better economy build. I mean, at this point, Action has his economy firmly established, but he's wasted all the time early on going for that Hydralisk build while accomplishing nothing, I have to say, and that is a mistake, I have to feel. Free now with Templar out, 5 Templar, probably more coming out of his gateways, and they will have a lot of energy for Storm. Action has started to build Lurkers and Nihilists. He needs to be able to kill those Templar. If he can do that, perhaps he'll have a chance, but if he can't, Free is just going to Storm, and that'll be the end. Action won't have enough forces to get this done. Neither player really setting up to attack. Action with only the 1 Mulist for some reason. I don't know why he's built just the 1 Mulist. 1 Mulist is worthless. How do you build them en masse, or you don't? But now Action perhaps mobilizing his forces there. Free has cleverly put his Templar at the 5 o'clock base. If Action wants to put down an expansion, the Templar can deal with that, the Dark Templar. And now Free has all sorts of Dragoons in the middle of his base. They will do very well against these Lurkers. Free with a few Zealots scouting out in the middle of the map. That's a good maneuver. That Zealot with 5 kills, wedging itself against the mineral line there, more as a scout than anything, I suspect. But getting a few extra kills is never a bad thing. And now Free perhaps going to mobilize his forces and unleash them. Yeah, that Dark Templar going to force a cancel and start killing some drones there. Well done. Free perhaps looking to set up his own 3rd base. Action cannot allow Free to get that base up, or he needs to take another base. Now, more Nihilists are being built. Perhaps the Nihilists will be sent against the High Templar. There are a lot of Dragoons out to protect the Templar, though. I think they might be able to kill 1 or 2 Templar, but it's not going to work out as well as Action hopes. And Action is in a defensive posture now. Free looks like he is going to push out with his forces. Action doing his best to snipe what units on the field that he can. I believe he may have killed an observer there. And now, I mean, by sniping observers, again, Action can hold out. Now these Mullists coming, able to pick off 1, 2, 3 High Templar, 4 High Templar. Well done by Action, I have to say. Free storming his own units in the meantime. Free with 2 more Templar. He also has a lot of Dragoons. And those Mullists absolutely worth their weight, I have to say. Eating their resource costs, I did not think he would be as successful as he is. As it stands, Free's ground army is still incredibly powerful. I don't think Action feels confident enough to take this on. Action is going to use his Mullists to snipe what units he can, and Free, as long as he can preserve his observers, may yet be able to effect some sort of breakthrough here. Effect some sort of breakthrough, I have to say, E-F-F-E-C-T. Massive attack here coming in by Free. Storm all over those Lurkers and Hydras. Another brilliant Storm. Those 2 Templar are absolutely critical. All the Zerg units, it looks like, are dead, and Action is in desperate trouble. He's bringing his Mullists back now, but there are just way too many Dragoons. Those Dragoons will not care at all. Another great Storm, this time over all sorts of Hydras, and Action driven all the way back. There is one chance that Action can snipe that Observer with his, and then use his Lurkers. He may be able to hold out for a bit longer, but there are just way too many Dragoons. Action sending every unit, looks like he has, to try to hold this back. Reinforcing Zealots and Templar coming, but Free does not even need those to get it done. GG coming from Action. This is what I mean. Despite the brilliant Templar snipe by Action, he did not go through with his fast Hydra break, and that really cost him in terms of his units, and well, you know, there's not too much you can do. Going on to the ace match.
방금 유령태 선수가 하이테프라를 잡혀도 지상 물량으로 밀었네요. 10게이트가 돌아갔습니다.
예, 견제가 통하지 않았어요. 견제를 받지 않은 유용태다 보니까 자신이 원하는 한방병력을 구출하고 나갔습니다. 템플러가 끊겼는데 불과 시장병력으로 밀어버렸어요.
초반 움직임이 약간 어정쩡한 김성대 선수였습니다. 히드라리스크를 선택을 했는데 견제를 전혀 해주지 못했어요. 게이트에 하나도 못 깼습니다. 손도 거의 못된 상태에서 이런 그 김성대 선수의 약간 어정쩡한 경기력이 지속되다 보니까 이용 선수 이제 한방 병력 싸움에서 밀릴 수 있는 이런 상황이 됐네요.
그렇죠. 이제 이카루스로 넘어가게 됐는데 지금 KT로서의 이용호 선수가 있습니다만 웅진 스타즈도 이카루스에서 힘을 쓸 수 있는 선수가 있죠.
예, 분명히 KT로스터가 아직까지 유리한 이런 고지에 올라가 있습니다만 그 퍼센트는 많이 좁혀졌습니다. 웅진 스타즈 김명훈 선수 분명히 마지막 세트 준비해가지고 왔을 거거든요. 그러면 김명훈을 잡기 위한 이런 뭐 적으로 추격시킬 것인가 이용호를 한 번 더 쓸 것인가 고민 많이 해야 될 것 같아요.
그렇죠. 이 웅진 스타즈의 승리를 이어주는 이 다리 역할 유용태 선수가 해내네요.
네, 정말 항상 부진했었는데 최근 들어서는 많이 부진했었는데 이런 위기에서 팀을 또 구해내면서 애결까지 이끌어내는 유용태 선수입니다. 정말
그렇죠.
장안에